some money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this is the short version. You know, get you a couple dollars, man. You're gonna feel different.
Next net hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Bridging the gap between DJ Quick generation and my own generation, the small gap that there is. Mausberg was definitely one of a kind that I felt like one of a kind when it comes to the style that I am, some of the classifications that I possessed coming into the game. I think he was one of the pioneers of that lane that didn't quite get a chance to see. I don't know how far his impact went world or nationwide. And the sense I mean is somebody that was really reputable from their section that looked like they was finna get a big shot in the big game. Since Quick, and then I put reputable, I use that subjectively. I don't know how reputable DJ Quick was, but he was definitely from his set when he entered the game. We had MCA, and then reputable is not necessarily a word I would associate with what I knew about him in his section either. But so that's why I say one of a kind, extremely reputable from their section, getting action. And he didn't quite get a chance. When I stumbled across this story, I even got a chance. Shout out to Wino 190, my G homie, when I first stepped in the game upon. He remixed the beat, shut up, and did his own little twist to it. And I had did a version of that song. Rest in peace to Mausberg. With no further ado, we're going to check out and see what his short life have been up to.
Warren Cali. The rap scene in Compton during the 1980s and 1990s became one of the most influential movements in music history, helping create and popularize what the world would know as West Coast gangster rap. Compton itself was a city experiencing major economic and social changes. During the 1960s and 70s, many middle-class families left the area, while unemployment, poverty, gang activity, and crime increased in certain neighborhoods. By the early 1980s, many young people in Compton felt disconnected from mainstream America and believed that the realities of their lives were being ignored by politicians, the media, and much of the country. Hip-hop became a way to tell their stories. Compton artists often focused on life in their neighborhoods, which was affected by gangs, police activity, drugs, violence, and economic hardships. Their music was controversial, but it reflected realities that were rarely discussed publicly at the time. The most important group to emerge from Compton was NWA, which formed in the mid-80s. The group included Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, MC Ren, and DJ Yella, among others. Their 1988 album, Straight Outta Compton, changed rap forever. The album painted vivid pictures of the street life in Compton and challenged law enforcement and government institutions, along with social inequality. Songs from the album generated massive controversy, including criticism from law enforcement agencies and political figures, but the attention only increased the group's popularity. NWA's success showed that rap artists could build careers by speaking directly about the realities of the communities, rather than trying to fit into the mainstream expectations. Compton's influence expanded even further because of Dr. Dre's production style. After leaving NWA, Dr. Dre helped develop the G-Funk sound. The G-Funk sound became the dominant style of the West Coast rap throughout much of the 90s and influenced artists around the world. Compton was no longer just a city in Southern California. It had become a global symbol of the West Coast hip-hop culture. The success of Compton artists also brought attention to the city's gang culture. The city had long-standing rivalries involving various sets associated with PIRUs and Crips. Many rappers had direct or indirect connections to neighborhoods affected by gang activity, and gang references often appeared in lyrics, videos, and public images. Some artists also used music as a way to escape street life, while others found themselves pulled back into the neighborhood conflicts. This connection between rap and gang culture created both authenticity and controversy. Critics argued that music glorified violence, while supporters argued that
God, that is like a garage. I know it ain't that we used to be in on King, the track knows. Rest in peace, Dad.
artists were documenting realities that already existed. Despite its success, Compton's rap scene faced numerous problems. Violence surrounding the music industry became a concern, with some artists becoming involved in personal disputes, gang-related tension, and criminal investigations. Record labels often profited from the controversial images while artists themselves dealt with real dangers in their neighborhoods. Many young people idolized rappers without fully understanding the difficult circumstances that inspired the music. And many rappers having street ties eventually became their downfall. And that leads us to this story. Johnny Burns, later known as his stage name Mausberg, was born on February 18, 1979 in Compton. He grew up in a community known on the west side of Compton known as Campanella Park, which is a PIRU hood. The name Campanella Park comes from a park in their community named after a former baseball player. As a kid, Mausberg participated in local sports, playing baseball as a kid in leagues in his neighborhood. Like many young kids, he had dreams and aspirations.
I ain't gonna lie, he looked like he'll smash a home run and catch a strike for the pitcher, throw a nigga out at second.
Being a big sports star, but as he got older, the reality of his neighborhood set in. Gang activity became one of the most visible realities of the era. Various neighborhood groups and rivalries existed throughout Compton and surrounding communities. For many residents, avoiding trouble often meant being careful about where they went, what colors they wore, or who they associated with, and what streets they traveled through. By the early 90s, while rap music was generating millions of dollars and putting Compton on the map, many local residents continued struggling with poverty, crime, and limited economic opportunities. The fame of the city did not automatically solve its problems. Campanella Park was a dangerous area to grow up in. They had several Crip and Southsider gangs to worry about, making the area one of the most dangerous areas to live in and to be from. With the influences around Mausberg, by just living in that area, he fell in the gang lifestyle, and it was easy. He didn't have a father figure in his life, with his dad being absent, like so many other kids in the urban communities.
Yeah, all that baseball gone, all out his fake spirit. You say he playing real ball.
He found his guidance in the streets. By his teenage years, he loved sports alone and became a full-fledged PIRU. He was big in stature, being around 6'3" and 300 pounds. That made many people call him Bear. He became well-respected in his area, but he also...
The way he looked, you wouldn't expect him to be so creative on the mic. He was G'd up, but he was creative. He had a style you ain't never heard before. He was hard.
Found another passion, and that would be music. He began rapping in his high school, and he spent a lot of his time with his friends developing his skills. By the time he was 18,
Centennial High, Compton Airport, swap meet before that.
He was a respected MC in his area. His life changed in 1997 when he met DJ Quick. Quick immediately recognized something special in the young rapper. At the time, Quick was already a respected producer and rapper. Mausberg wasn't just another rapper hanging around the studio. He had a deep voice, smooth delivery, sharp storytelling ability, and charisma that made many people pay attention whenever he spoke. Many people called him the West Coast Biggie. Quick began bringing him into recording sessions and mentoring him personally. Stan Shepard was a part of various groups during the 70s and 80s. In later years, he teamed up with Tony Lane to form Shepard Lane Music. He managed to work closely with DJ Quick. He had artists like Sugar Free and others signed. He then signed Mausberg after seeing his potential.
He signed Mausberg from the west side of Compton, babe. That man was so cold-blooded. And Quick heard him and said, Stan, whatever y'all want me to do, I'm ready to roll. Let's just do it. But this dude is bad. Man, I love Mausberg.
Many fans first heard Mausberg on DJ's Quick 1998 album, particularly on a song called Down Down. Over the next few years, his reputation grew rapidly. He worked alongside artists such as Sugar Free, Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, and Warren G. He appeared on Snoop Dogg's album No Limit Top Dog and released a connected project with Sugar Free. Within California's rap scene, many insiders believed that Mausberg was next in line to become a major star. He was always ready to hit the studio and had major work ethic. With DJ Quick by his side, he was destined to make it, many stated. July 3rd, 2000, around 10:45 p.m.
Damn, it's been 26 years. Yeah, I was about 24 then.
That was the last time many seen Mausberg alive. He was at a studio with DJ Quick, and they were finishing a few tracks for his up-and-coming album. It was said he was excited about the songs Quick was mixing, and you could see it on his face. As the night switched to July 4th of 2000, Mausberg was home, and he was studying from his DMV handbook because he was tired of being drove around, and he planned to get himself a car. He was home until about 12:45 a.m. before he walked out his front door of his apartment for the last time. What happened next? Mausberg was shot twice and murdered. Many rumors started to circulate on the reason why.
21 years old, gone so too soon, so far too soon.
Many stated he was robbed for a recent amount of money he received from his label, which many speculate could have been from people he actually knew. Other theories believed it was just him being known and being a gang member living in a gang-filled area. Mausberg's death was shocking. He was a rising star by many accounts, and he was destined to go far in the industry. His funeral attracted thousands of family, friends, and fans, which his music was blasted outside of his funeral, showing his impact. Mausberg's death deeply...
I think that's that cemetery, what's that on Bullish? That they was raiding the graves, taking people, homegirl TT Berry right there, ECIP.
affected DJ Quick. He stated in a XXL...
Is that where we at? I don't want a mistake. Damn. That ain't where our funeral was at. We was way in Long Beach. Sheesh. Wait to hear somebody correct. Who was buried right there? I went to a funeral. And get 50 cuz shit be whoop. I've been to a couple funerals there. I think it's one of the homies that's right there though too. It wasn't TT though.
Interview. I was in bed when we had just dropped him off. It was July 3rd. We had been working all day. He took the 4th of July off so he could be with his family, and I would be at a family reunion. But I felt that something was wrong. I wanted to go pick him up on a motorcycle, but people were telling me, nah, man, he's chilling. So I went home and I went to sleep.
That would be crazy, right? However, I would love to have him here to clown over getting on a motorcycle with another nigga than for what the alternative ended up being. But just imagine he got on that motorcycle then, and a few years later, DJ Quick running around with Tony talking about, had me drinking something bubbly and tickly that had me walking around naked. Now, wait a second. Nah, man, not Mausberg.
Around midnight, I got a call saying Mausberg is dead. He was just a young man. Fuck being a rap artist. He's a human being. Who did he piss off?
That remind me of, what's game homie name? 4 Cent.
Also bad to take his life. That's resentment. That could have been fixed with an apology or two men having an understanding. Why kill him? Why didn't he get his money from the record company? He had already started to generate income. Why didn't he get enough money to move out the hood? Being in the hood causes jealousy. Sometimes you start being popular, and why didn't Stan Shepard and them give him his money to move out of the neighborhood so he could be safe? He was just a child. It's sad to hear that, but I couldn't even go to the hospital to see him. They say he died with tears in his eyes. Damn, tears in his eyes. But that's life. Mausberg's album was released after his death. It was a 16-track album called Nonfiction. DJ Quick later stated, I wasn't...
Shit would have been way harder.
...satisfied with the mastering. I spent a lot of money personally, maybe 40 grand in the studio to produce it right. When I finally mixed the record, I gave it to Stan Shepard. He took them to a hole-in-the-wall mastering plant and made the whole album sound like an MP3. So, of course, I was unhappy. He continued by saying, it was a pretty shady thing to happen. If I would have been the label head, I would have definitely given Mausberg the chance when he got his publishing deal. Do you know what they did? They stripped the pig down and threw him in the lion's den. That's what you do to somebody who's going to be hot.
Ain't that the same story we keep hearing about the industry over and over again? I don't even know why these people keep complaining. Just know what you're dealing with.
Keep him in the hood and take their money from him. You set him up for all kinds of shit. Quick continued to be very vocal throughout the years. Mausberg was only 21 years old when his life was cut short. To many, he had endless potential to be the next Compton great, but his life ended before he could reach stardom. R.I.P. to him.
21. 21 is hella young, man. Baby Dre Line, Baby Lane. I think Baby Lane might have been 22. Irregardless. Rest in peace, Mausberg, man. I know we missed out on some great shit. Oh, my mama.
Get you some money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this the short version. You know, get you a couple dollars, man. You're gonna feel different.
Thanks for letting that hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.